Coffee on 39th Street, right? The shop, they've only been open a few months. They did a grand opening a couple weeks ago, and we're going to be here this weekend for our coffee tour. So we're going to sit down with Caleb today just to kind of talk about, about why coffee, why this shop, why this location, and what you're trying to do here. So.
Yeah, certainly. So we certainly, why coffee? Well, it's definitely always been a part of my life. I grew up with family, I'm from Mexico, so I grew up pretty much with coffee grapes in bags.
Oh, wow.
And so my grandma would take the grapes, clean them, dry out the beans, or dry out the seeds, and then toast them, and we'd make coffee that way.
Oh, wow.
So I've been drinking coffee since I was born. Pretty much, I can't recall a time where I didn't drink coffee. So that stuck with me. I grew up in coffee shops, working at some shops, as well as eventually I got into roasting, and I have my own, setup at home. So I've been roasting for about 3 years, and I've been trying to fine-tune my coffee palates since I was a kid. So it's always been kind of part of my blood, probably literally at this point. And that's kind of where we started. I think you also asked about location. Location-wise, I think the folks here are really supportive of small coffee shops and individuals who have a dream and kind of want to develop that. So I have two other partners who decided, hey, this looks like a good spot for a small shop. This kind of fit the neighborhood. Now we need a coffee person. So they brought me on to kind of develop that. And
awesome.
Now we're here.
And what's the reasoning behind Rebel Coffee?
Yeah, that one's probably an even long conversation. A lot of it has to do with to some degree marketing, right? Like what's catchy, but also kind of what encompasses your general vision. We want to, of course, be different. We want to stick out or stand out. We also don't necessarily want to, like Rebel could have a negative connotation, whereas we don't really particularly see it that way. We're just a little bit different, so we do things a little differently. So Rebel was one of the words that kind of fit that general scope well, and it was catchy enough to where that, if you see it on text, like, oh, that sounds interesting. Let's go there, let's try it out. So some of that was marketing, but hopefully it encompasses our general scope of who we'd like to be and showcase well.
Right. And tell me a little bit more, we had kind of talked about before this that you really like the ethical coffee and how that works out. So explain a little bit what that means to somebody that hasn't been into that.
Yeah, sure. So in the production of coffee, there's a lot of coffee production in places that may not have as well established ethical practices in terms of payments and going from farm to cup. Along the way, we do our best to make sure that the people who have played a part in the creation and development of that coffee into our cup, they are paid their equal share per, say, pound. So your Culture definitely does a lot of that work for us, and they definitely take their time in making sure that what they're showcasing, they can be transparent and show their customers as well. So if you go onto their website, it'll have notes about some of that transparency, how long have they been in partnership with these farms or cooperatives, and then of course some of their pricing and how much it costs to them per se. And so it's a little bit different because I don't generally see that a lot in a lot of different roasters. People maybe don't even ask about that, right? But in this case, if you did have some questions about that, we could point you to where you can find that information. And of course, that's just something that's valuable to us. So therefore, we kind of go with that.
And I love that about, there's a lot of practices that people don't know about coffee that are not ethical, and that it's really not sometimes a great thing. So, all right, so you have a new shop. And gonna be here for a while, I assume. Starting.
That's the plan.
So what's your favorite drink here, I guess, will be my next thing.
Sure. Yeah, it definitely changed over time. I've always been a just straight latte person. I've never had any sweet drinks. I never had anything with them. Of course, as we developed syrups and we kind of had to expand out of my just plain latte, I really enjoy our mocha. Jillian, who makes our mocha, does a great job at making our syrups, and it's probably one of the best mochas that I have tasted. And so, and I don't like sweet anything really.
Yeah.
So it hits my palate well. It's a good balance of something that's rich but not too sugary.
Yeah.
So it has a very good taste.
Awesome. Well, we're going to be here on Saturday at 11 o'clock, so we'd love to see you. And I'm sure, are you going to be here on Saturday?
Yeah, I'll make sure to be.
Like, he'll be here and
Yeah, of
we'll all get
course.
to hang out. And so, you guys, hopefully we'll get to see you. And thanks for doing this with me. I
Yeah,
really
of course.
appreciate it.
Thank you for coming
Glad
by.
to support a local business.
Yeah, and thanks in advance for those who come by.
Yeah, absolutely.